Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you SBT Draft Recap. Chicago Corviknight, checking in. So, SBT is the league that I auditioned for, where I had the Melmetal Charizard X team. You can check that out from last Saturday. So yeah, check that out. We were in the D League. We are in the D League, not we're in the D League. We are in the D League. We had 8th pick out of 16, right smack dab in the middle of the draft. Right smack dab. I hate 8th pick. I really do. I hate being in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, 16. Those are the best positions to be in. And why do I say that they're the best positions to be in? Because you're basically on the wheel. You can kind of plan around it. And, it works. So. But, Mega Alakazam is banned. Little questioning as to why Mega Alakazam is banned. Yeah, I know it got a nasty font. But the fact that they're allowing everything makes me think that Alakazam probably shouldn't have been banned. That's really the highlight ban, in my opinion. I don't think anything else, like the Megalodis makes sense. Kyurem Black, okay, yeah, if you don't want to ban DD on it, then yeah, it's banned. But otherwise, it's pretty much Uber's banned, so. Yeah, so, doesn't really make much difference. But yes, everything is allowed. Post-DLC movesets. All cut moves, so Hidden Power is back. Return, Hidden Power. Every move that was cut is allowed, which means some of the mons I drafted got even better. I didn't actually realize that until midway through round 4 that, oh, Hidden Power is still allowed. I definitely want to take this mon then, because it's still so much, like, boom type of thing. So, what did I do for my draft plan? Well, I was going to run Rain. Melmetal fell all the way to pick 7, and then Curse Unico took Melmetal from me. And at that point I said, well, not running Rain. I'm not running Sun. Hail's not a weather. And I'm not feeling sand right now. I'm not feeling very sandy. So I scrapped the weather plan, which I know I said I wasn't going to do for a while because I wanted to get back to weather and back into my comfort zone. Yeah, I lied. I am back to doing what I was doing at the beginning of the generation, where it's mons that are not necessarily weather-based. However, I am trying a lot of stuff that I have in the past, but not post-DLC, and a few other things. So I know I'm going to get criticized here for my first pick because it's probably at 8. It's a little rich, especially with Hidden Power and some other things. Some other mons. Why is my cursor being captured? That's not supposed to be captured. Real professional properties. Don't capture cursor. Okay. Yay! Sorry. Anywho, I know I'm going to get criticized for it, but I didn't think it would make it back to me 24 picks down, or 16 picks back. I didn't think it was going to make it back to me at 16 picks later, so I did pick up Hydreigon. Most people know that I have a very strong affinity to Hydreigon. I've used it twice, 3 times, Battling Stats, twice, 3 times, Mon Records. 3 times. 22 kills in 3 times. It's right up there with, like, Manaphy's, Aurora, Mon that I truly get and grasp. It had a field day in Academy when I used it. I truly love Hydreigon. It is probably my favorite dragon type to use. Just Dark Dragon spam. Has a very good move pool on both physical and special side. It does have Dragon Dance now, physical variants. Nasty Plot for special variants to be even more problematic. Scarf Abuser, Specs Abuser, Choice Band Potential. I really want to look at getting into the physical side of Hydreigon a little bit more than I did in Academy, just because I think it adds a layer to what people have to prep for. It makes them scratch their head and be like, is it physical? Is it special Hydreigon? What do I do? So, Hydreigon here. I love this thing. Really, really looking forward to it. And with my FDS core, I think it brings the offensive pressure that it needs to. Second round pick. I know I'm going to catch fire for this one because I said I would never use this mon in Draft League again. I would like to point to Alolan Muck and Goodra and Darmanitan and, spoilers for the future, Jolteon as 2 mons that I said suck and I would never draft again and have drafted and had some success with. Going back to Bulu, 5 and 12. The only time I ever used it went 5 and 12, which is basically the same thing as what Coco did. And I said I'd never use it. It was a terrible mon. Bulu pre-DLC is a terrible mon. I will stand by that. Rillaboom is the superior Grassy Surge setter pre-DLC, but post-DLC, Bulu got so much better when they gave it play rough. It actually is a very strong physical attacker now. With physical fairy stab, so I am very happy and excited to bring Bulu in and see what it can do. The banded sets get a lot better. Scarf sets, Assault Vest is a very good set. It can be defensive with, Assault Vest Leech Seed. That's a dumb set. This runs faster than this sometimes, but Assault Vest, it can be bulky. It could be defensive with its own Grassy Seed, plus Surge Recovery, plus Lefty's Recovery. Just a very annoying mon. The Grassy Surge is great because it slows down ground, or Earthquake at least, because I historically am very Edgequake weak when I build teams. Either that or I'm extremely Ice weak, which, lo and behold, first 2 picks, Ice weak. But no, I do like having Bulu. Bulu Hydreigon as a nice offensive FDS core start. I get part of my Fire, Water, Grass core here. Recovery with Horn Leech, I forgot about that. So really, really excited to try Bulu now that it gets play rough and can actually be a very good where I don't have to run Dazzling Gleam type of thing. I do have to watch out for HP Poison and Fire and Steel and Flying. Like Hidden Power still being around is definitely more of a problem, but Bulu does have a decent move pool coverage to kind of do what it needs to against its checks like Stone Edge and that it gets access to. So, yay! Very, very happy. Very happy to try Bulu again. Now, I am going to say I did succumb to being a typical Draft League player when they draft Bulu. They followed up with Lucha. I did follow up Bulu with Lucha. There we go. That's better. More centered. Bulu Lucha. Lucha has gotten better since the last time I used it, because that literally was the last time I used these two, was the Bulu Lucha team with Mega Charizard X. Throwback to APA Indigo Season 2. But now that Lucha gets close combat, so it doesn't have to rely on high jump kick, it has other sets where it doesn't rely on terrain to trigger Unburden. It's a very potent, powerful mon already, as is. I couldn't get it to work correctly the first time I used it, but I've gotten more experience, so I am happy to use it. Another ground. I'm not going to have problems with ground types this time. I really am not. I am going to have problems with ice types. I really am going to have problems with ice type, because Hydreigon, Bulu, and Lucha all do not appreciate ice type hits, so yeah. But Bulu Lucha obviously is a very scary core to have to deal with. Throwing in Hydreigon. Speed tier wise, I'm up to 116, 98, and 72, so I've got nice speed cores filling in. I don't have the best as far as removal goes, because neither Hydreigon nor Hawlucha really want to carry Defog and run it, but I'll patch that up later in the draft. So, but yes, Hawlucha, Bululucha, Hydreigon. So after this, I was going to take another Mon, and I thought about it, and I'm like, no. A lot of teams have their Fire type, a lot of teams have a Steel type, which, spoiler, you know what Mon I'm taking, because I'm just a degenerate with Bululucha. I started looking, I was like, okay, I'm going to shove that thing down the line. I need some defensive backbone. I could use a Cleric. I could use a Passer. I also could use a very bulky Water type. And I grabbed Vaporeon. Is round 4 a little rich for Vaporeon? Maybe. Maybe not. I just didn't want Vaporeon to come off the board before I had a chance to get it. I didn't want to use Quagsire. I didn't want to use Seismitoad, Gastro. I wanted an actual, like Wish Passer to try and help keep Hydreigon, help keep Hawlucha healthy, try to help keep just the team healthy in general. And this thing is incredibly fat. I've gotten to use it one other time, which was APA Infinity on the Sand team, and I unfortunately had to drop due to my surgery recovery. But Vape is super, super bulky from an HP standpoint, which is what makes it such a phenomenal Wish Passer. I believe it's 130 HP, so massive, massive HP stat to pass with. It is usually run as Mono Skull, but I don't think that's always the best play. But Wish Pass, obviously really good, and then a Cleric. So that's one of the things that the evolutions are very good at doing, is being defensive Mons when they need to be. So, well, most of them. So, very happy to have Vape here. Round 5, I am getting Mega Mane again because Hidden Power is allowed. This is where I went, because Hidden Power is still allowed, I want Mega Mane. Because without Hidden Power, Mega Mane and Signal Beam being removed as well, Mega Mane is significantly worse without cut moves. So having Hidden Power is really nice because you can run Hidden Power Ice versus ground types that want to check in, or Hidden Power Grass against bulky water grounds. It's nice. I have used Mega Mane before on the AABL team with Hydreigon. Basically, this team was a combination of AABL and APA team with a few new Mons added in. But I wanted to go back to a couple of core teams that I've used and see how they went. I love Mega Mane. It's, bulky or fast electric types. Those are kind of my thing that I love to run. It's very simple, straightforward Mon to run. Volt Switch, T-Bolt, Overheat, Hidden Power, or Toxic, or something. It's really, really simple, which makes it really, really easy for me to use. And I really do like it. 135 speed, so now I have this thing and Hawlucha under Unburden. Don't have a base 100 right now. Hydreigon's close. I would like to get something in between Lucha and Hydreigon because there's a 18-point speed difference there. And that means that Mons in that 100 to 115 range can run Modest or Adamant Natures if they wanted, due to speed creeping. And I don't like that. I don't like having that. I want to force speed boosting natures. So, but I'll patch that up later. Really, really excited for Mega Mane to come back and have another shot. I've been trying to find ways to use this thing again, and I didn't get to at the end of Gen 7. So glad I have kind of Gen 7 rules to try and bring it back. So we'll see how it does. Numon, Runerigus. So I've used Cofagrigus, never used Runerigus. I've been sniped on Runerigus 4 times when I've tried to draft it. Gives me Ghost Stab, gives me a ground type, gives me T-Spikes, gives me a Rocker. So now I have a good chunk of hazards. I have a Mon that's on the defensive side. I have a very annoying Mon. Well, it's definitely defensive. I think it's base 145 defense. 105 Spadef, unless I'm thinking of Corviknight stats, and I have these backwards. Or, yeah, Corviknight stats, but... Anyways, it's an entry hazard setter. It gets Iron Defense Body Press, which is very good and annoying. It's an annoying defensive mon, and something that my team sorely lacked outside of Vaporeon. I didn't have a lot of defense. I have a lot of hyper... I have hyper offense, basically, but it's the hyper offense that it's a lot like my AABL team, to be perfectly honest. It's a lot like my AABL team, which was the first team I'd ever taken into semis, so we'll see if I can lightning in a bottle it, but really happy to have Renarigus. Nice defensive pivot. Wandering Spirit's great because I can start taking away abilities, stealing abilities. One thing I love to do is if I can hit a Mega Mawile and take huge power, that would be really cool, because Renarigus is actually a physical attacker. Corviknight is more of a special, Renarigus is more of a physical. Neither are great offensively, but still, that's good. So, another returning mon in round 7. I did double up on fairy typing, grabbing Ribombee. Just purely because I wanted Bug Stab and also Sticky Webs. As the draft progressed, I realized I'm probably not going to be able to lock something in between Hydreigon and Hawlucha. Most of those mons were taken, most of those mons were not speed tiers, or most of those mons that were left had typings that conflicted with my team. So instead I thought, I'll try to do a little bit of speed control myself with Ribombee. I have Mega Man as the top speed already, so Ribombee patches that Hawlucha gap. It gives me the Sticky Webs, like I said. It is another defogger, granted with Hidden Power. Ribombee's going to want to lean towards running Hidden Power Ground and Hidden Power Fire over defog, just because of the fact that, it can actually it can Core Dance and hit the Steels and Poison types that want to try and come in on it, but if I have to, Ribombee can be a pinch defogger situation, and I try to address this later in the draft, but that's the one criticism I have of my own draft, is that I don't have a lot of removal options that want to run it, so we'll see. Ribombee and I have a history. I think this is Ribombee's 5th time being drafted by me. I think Ribombee is probably the premier Sticky Web setter. Granted, I've never tried Galvantula, but those of you that have watched me know that I love to run under Sticky Webs a lot. I try to get them up as often as possible, and it helps Hydreigon, because I can run Specs Hydreigon in with Webs, so if need be. So it's definitely, I don't have to worry about my Unburden triggering with Hawlucha, so because I just Sticky Web. So there is Ribombee. Picking up Mr. Rime. I have never drafted Mr. Rime. I drafted Galarian Mr. Mime in Mount Silver and never brought it. This thing is literally here because I wanted Ice Stab and I needed a Psychic type, and I needed something cheap because, I have burned a significant chunk of my points at this point. At 115, and by the time we got through Ribombee and my round 9 pick, I had 25 points left for 3 mons, so I had to start looking at the bottom barrel stuff. Mr. Rime is nice because of Screen Clear ability, which takes away Light Screen and Reflect and all that, which could be a decent thing to have. It does have a decent move pool. It's decently bulky, and it does get Rapid Spin, so it can base 70 speed with Rapid Spin is not terrible. Because after a speed boost, it's 1.5, so it's 105 speed. So after Rapid Spin, it kind of slots in that spot that I needed. But I don't know. Ice Psychic, it's not the most defensive mon, at all. It's very frail based on its typings, but it does give me a Psychic type. It does give me Ice, and it does give me a remover that doesn't mind running the remover. So we'll see if our Tap Dancing Father here can do something. And again, Rune, Lucha, Bulu, Hydreigon all don't want to take ice hits. Vape doesn't appreciate freeze dry, so good to have something that kind of resists. So, speaking of resists, now we get the ice resist. We get Heatran. So it is Bulu-Lucha-Tran, the old Gen 7 typical core. I've never drafted Heatran. It does give me a rocker. It does give me another defensive semi-Spadef if I ran an Assault Vest type set. Lava Plume, I could run Scarfed, I could run Specs, I could run Lefties, I could run XYZ. Heatran has a lot of versatility to it. I know base 77 speed is right there with Tapu Bulu at 75, but it's Bulu-Tran. I have Hydreigon and Hawlucha, both of which are immune to ground-type hits. Ribombee resists them. This thing can clear the steel types that Ribombee doesn't want to deal with, and Hydreigon doesn't necessarily want to deal with, or Bulu wanting to deal with, or Mr. Rhyme wanting to deal with. So it'll be fun. I'm excited to see what Heatran does in fire steel typings. So then after that, I grabbed Weezing for Poison Stab. Another Levitator. So again, my team's not weak to ground outside of Mold Breaker. It gives me a backup T-Spiker if Runerigus doesn't want to come, just T-Spike. It is a defensive mon with base 200 defense. No, 120. I was looking at Regirock, that's the base 200. This is base 120. I have used Weezing in VBL. Spoiler for future. Didn't get to use it a lot, so actually looking forward to try it here. But like I said, backup T-Spiker, really annoying defensive mon with Will-O-Wisp and, just being bulky and annoying. So I have a lot of hazards that I could use hazard stacking capabilities on this team, which unfortunately I don't have a lot of removers, but I'll make my opponents remove them for me. And then last but not least, speaking of removal, I grabbed Archeops. So Archeops is base 110. It kind of slots that Hydreigon a little better. I was looking Regirock, but having Regirock, I literally had to run Defog on Hydreigon, Hawlucha, or Ribombee, which, again, don't really want to. Or Mr. Rhyme has to come and spin every game. So having Archeops, while it won't come to every game, it does have a defog capability for me. Banded sets are really annoying. This is another mod from AABL. Hydreigon, Megamane, and Archeops. Hydreigon U-turns. Hawlucha, I believe, can U-turn and pivot. I'm not 100% certain. Megamane can Volt Switch. Ribombee can U-turn. And Archeops can U-turn. So I've got the ability to pivot and carry momentum, which is one of those things that I love to do as well. So it gives me another rocker. Like I said, Banded or Scarfed, it can be really good with that base 110 speed and massive attack stat. The biggest issue is if I drop below 50%, and then, my attack stat gets halved, because Defeatist is such a stupid ability. It really is such a stupid ability, but that's going to be the team. Let me know what you think down below. Who do you think is going to be kill leader? Who do you think, what do you think the record for this season is going to be? How do you think the season's going to stack up? Kind of get the playoffs for the third time this generation, fourth time this generation, depending on how VBL goes. You'll have to just wait and see if I did that one or not. So, but yeah, that's your draft recap. So I will see you guys for week 1 next week.